Hello everyone, welcome back to IGT, that is Introduction to Graph Theory. This is lecture number 30 and here we are discussing about all the exercises of 5.1 theory part I have done in the last 3 lectures. If you haven't watched that, so please first watch that and then come to this one. Okay, come to first problem. First problem is, I'm going with the lesson plan, so you can just tally with that. Okay, so here first problem is compute the clique number. We have to compute the clique number, that is the maximum number of vertices which are mutually adjacent. You can just say the set of mutually adjacent vertices. Independence number, that is the maximum number of elements in the independent set, or you can just say maximum size of independent set. And independent set is in which we have mutually non-adjacent vertices. Okay, every two vertices would be non-adjacent. So this is the opposite of this one, you can just say. And the chromatic number, that is xi of g, and clique number is denoted by omega of g, independence number is denoted by alpha of g, and chromatic number denoted by xi of g. For this graph is given, and it is further asked that does either bound in this proposition. That proposition was this proposition 5.1.7. that proposition is xi of g, that is chromatic number of g is greater than equal to clique number of this one, and second bound for that is xi of g, that is chromatic number is greater than equal to n, that is the order, divided by alpha, that is the independence number of this graph. So we did this proposition correct. So it is asked that does either bound in this one, either of these two bound, prove optimality condition for some proper coloring. So is it giving you any optimality condition, that is any minimizing condition, because we want to minimize the colors, correct? So is it working? Is this graph k critical, or you can just say color critical? So a graph is color critical if there does not exist any subgraphs that chromatic number becomes with the same as the chromatic number of graph. Or you can just say for all the subgraph of G, whenever H is a subgraph of G, then chromatic number of H will be always strictly less than chromatic number of G. Okay, this is the condition for color critical. Then we say G is critical, and this will happen for all the subgraph, correct? So is this tell me first the clique number, that is the maximum number of dependent vertices, or you can just say maximum number of adjacent vertices, mutually adjacent vertices. So here is k1 part of this one? Obviously yes. So if k1 is there, k1 is the subgraph, then clique number is 1. k2 is the subgraph, then clique number is k2 is not the subgraph, then clique number is 1. And if k2 is there, k3 is not there, then clique number is 2. If k3 is there, k4 is not there, that is the maximum number of 3 mutually adjacent vertices are there, then clique number is 3. And if for clique number 4, it should be with the k4 as a subgraph. So does there exist any k4 is the subgraph of this one? Because in 4 vertices, when you say all are in k4, you can just say all vertices are mutually adjacent, correct? So here no k4, or you can just say in graph G, k4 is not the subgraph of G, correct? And k3 is the part of this one, that you can see. So here this one and this one, many k3s are the part of this one, but no k4 exists here, correct? So k4 is not the subgraph of this one. So any 4 vertices you can just take, not forming any k4, correct? So you can see for all the 4 vertices, okay, for all the vertices by choosing 4 at a time, okay? So k4 is not the part of this one, but k3 is the part of this one. So maximum number of vertices which are mutually adjacent, or you can just say maximum size of a set, that is in which vertices are adjacent that is every two vertices are adjacent, is 3. Okay, that if kn is the part of this one and kn plus 1 is not the part of this one, then clique number will be n. Okay, so here 3, because maximum number of dependent vertices, or you can just say adjacent vertices, we are getting 3. So clique number is cleared, I think. Now come to independence number. Independence number is the set of maximum set of vertices that is non-adjacent. Okay, no pairwise non-adjacent should be, or you can just say mutually non-adjacent. So maximum pairwise non-adjacent, how many vertices are there? So if you take this one vertex at a time, obviously it is non-adjacent to, obviously we have one, so it's trivial. So if we are taking these two, then no, we can't take these two. No, this one, no. What about this vertex? No. What about one and this one? You can take either this one or this one. You can take, or you can take this one or this one. Correct? So, and any three vertex, third vertex if you are taking, that is adjacent with this vertex as well as this vertex. Okay, so here this vertex is adjacent with both, so we can't take this one. This vertex is adjacent to one, we can't take this one. This vertex is again adjacent, so we can't take this one, and same happened with the remaining. So maximum number of pairwise non-adjacent vertices are 2. Okay, so independent vertices, that are maximum number of independent vertices are 2. That's why it's independence number becomes 2. So clique number 3, independence number is 2. Okay, and we have to find the chromatic number. So for chromaticity, first you need to show that this graph is key coloring, that is having proper key coloring or key colorable, then you can say chromatic number is less than k. If there exists any key coloring for a graph, then you say chromatic number is less than equal to k. Correct? So k proper coloring. G is 4 colorable, as you can see here. So let me zoom it first. So this is the graph. So here we want to color this graph, so you can color this vertex with this color. Correct? So color number 1. Color number 2, it cannot be colored by this color. Same here, same here. So these, out of these two, we can color one of this one. Correct? So which vertex you will color? I have colored this one. Okay, so this is not colored by the same. Correct? So now you can take the some other. So this is adjacent with one, the earlier color. So this is also adjacent with this one. So and these two are non-adjacent, so we can use the same color. Okay, and also if you want to color these vertices, then it's okay. So this also you can color it with the 2. Then you can color it. So this is 2, this is 2, this is 2. You can use green color. Then for 3 and another are, also you can use this 2. No, because this is adjacent with this one. And also you can't use this also, because this is adjacent with this one and this is adjacent with this one. Also you can't use this green color. Sorry for that, I did that. Now this is adjacent with this one and this is adjacent with first one also. So you can't use these two, first and second. So you have to use the third color. So I have used here. Now 3 is adjacent with 1 from this side, 2, 1. Yeah. Now also this is adjacent with this vertex is adjacent with 2 and 1, first and 2. So this and these two vertices are non-adjacent, so we can use the blue color. Correct? And now it is with this vertex is adjacent with 3, so we can't use 3. Adjacent with 1, 2. See, this vertex is already adjacent with all the 3, so we have to use fourth color. The fourth color I am choosing as this one. Okay, so or you can choose this one. So this one I have used. So four or you can just say 4 colorable graph is this one. Okay, so we have shown proper 4 coloring, correct, for this graph, correct. So chromatic number from k colorable graph, as you already know that chromatic number of this one will be less than equal to 4, because this is 4 colorable. We have shown a 4 proper coloring. Whenever it is having k proper coloring, then it will be chromatic number will be its most k, correct. So here 4, so it will be at most 4. If you are able to show this is at least 4, then we will be done with exactly equal to this one. Okay, so let's use some inequality from the proposition number 5.1.7, that if you have a clique number, if you have independence number and order, then it will be greater than equal to n by alpha, correct. And obviously this clique number also greater than equal, and this chromatic number is also greater than equal to clique number, correct. So this one, from this condition we are getting 3 greater than equal to 3. So this is not helping, because we want to get as greater than equal to 4. Okay, so we can use this condition. So the last condition, that is clique number condition, is giving you either it can be 3 or it can be 4, because it is at most 4 we have shown here, correct. These 4 colorable as shown in this graph, and this means chromatic number is at most 4. Now come to this one. So this one is, you have chromatic number is greater than equal to, what is n for this one? How many vertices are there? 7. So 7 divided by, what is independence number? So 7 by 2, correct. 7 by 2. So 7 by 2 means 3.5, and this is greater than equal to, and chromatic number should be greater than equal to natural number, you can just say, or it can be, yeah, it belongs to some positive integer type, correct. So that's why this is 3.5, correct. 7 by 2, so chromatic number is greater than equal to 3.5, or you can just say 4. Okay, greater than equal to means this is greater than equal to 4. Okay, so we have got from this condition chromatic number is greater than equal to 4, correct. So here I have just discussed as chromatic number is greater than equal to n by alpha, n is the order and alpha is independence number, so this chromatic number will be greater than equal to 7 by 2, and this one is chromatic number is 7 by 2 means 3.5, and 4 is the positive integer greater than this one. So chromatic number is strictly greater, that is greater than equal to 4, it can be, correct. So from this condition we got chromatic number is at most 4, and here we got the chromatic number of this graph will be at least 4. So from the both condition we got this condition, that is it have to be equal to 4. Okay, so we have calculated clique number, independence number and chromatic number for this graph, and also show the optimality, because this is by this one it is showing the optimality condition, correct, because minimum number of this one could be should be at least 4, correct. And here 4 coloring means at most it can be 4, so by using this one we have got chromatic number as 4. Now we need to determine whether is this graph color critical or not, that is for all the subgraph of this graph G, we have chromatic number of those subgraph is strictly less than chromatic number of G. Okay, so is this happening? This graph is color critical because here for every subgraph you will find the chromatic number of all the subgraph is less than equal to 3, and which is strictly less than 4, correct. So here this is 4 critical, you can just say. So a graph is k critical if chromatic number is k, and all other graph having less chromatic number. Okay, all the subgraph of this graph. Okay, proper subgraph. So you can take all the proper subgraph. If you take a proper subgraph, C3 is there. So for C3, for every C3 it's 3, and C3 with some edge, again this one, and for this one also 3 coloring, and if you take this one 3 coloring, if you take this one 3 coloring, correct. So these all are the proper subgraph. And if you can take this one also, then also 3 coloring. So for all the proper subgraph of G, for all proper subgraph of G, you have chromatic number of all subgraphs is less than equal to 3. It is either 1, 2 or 3. At most it is 3, and which is less than 3 is less than 4. So we have got chromatic number of all the subgraph is strictly less than chromatic number of this graph G. That's why this graph is 4 critical and this is 4. So color critical and how much critical? This is 4 critical. Okay, I hope you got this one. Now come to problem number 2. This is a unit 2. Prove that the chromatic number of a graph equals the maximum of the chromatic number of its component. So chromatic number of a graph G, if it is connected, how many number of component? Then number of component you can represent by C of G or K of G, whatever. Okay, chromatic how many component will be there? Only one. If G is connected, and then chromatic number will be maximum of this one, that is G only. So that's done. So now we can consider G is disconnected, means to say number of component are at least 2. Correct. So whenever at least 2 means to say G1 is here, G2 here, G3, G4 and so on. Okay. So at least for the simplicity I am just taking 2. So chromatic number of a graph equals to the chromatic number of maximum of chromatic number of its components. So chromatic number of some component is this one, G1, and chromatic number of G2 is given by Xi of G. Now obviously there is no as between these one, so the same coloring will be there. Okay, the same minimum coloring will be there for G. So that's why chromatic number of G will be same, that will be the maximum number of this one. So if you are using for example 4 colors and here 3 colors, so obviously for total G you can use 4 colors. Okay, because there is no edge joining these two components. Okay, and if G if we have chromatic number of G, then obviously it should be the chromatic number of some component of G, otherwise that is not the subgraph of this one. That component is the part of G, no? This why. So here I have just written this as a component of G are disjoint. Obviously there is no edge between them. There is no edge between them, between any two component. That's why this result holds. So always you can if you are given G is disjoint union of C5 union with C3, or you can just say C4, then chromatic number of this G will be maximum of this one on this one. Okay, and these are the component of this one, these are disjoint union. Okay, so G is the disjoint union of C5 and C4, then that is n is equal to 9 for G, and it is containing 2 cycles, that is one C5 and one C4. Okay, so here you can directly quote as this is the maximum of these chromatic number of this one and chromatic number of this one. Okay, so maximum of chromatic number of C5 and maximum of chromatic number of C4. So here from here it will be chromatic number of C5 it is 3 and for C4 it is 2. We have done this. Okay, because for odd cycle it is always 3 and for even cycle always 2. Okay, now it will be 3, correct, and that you can check also. So how C5 is this one, correct, and C4 is this one, and these are this graph is disjoint union. So you can use this color, then this color, and here this color you can use, this color you can use, correct, and another color you can use this one and this one, here two, here this one. For this one we can't use the same color, so we have to use some different. So here I have used the coloring, correct. So how much? This is depending on the maximum number of chromatic number. So chromatic number for this one is 3 and for this one is 2. So maximum is 3. Okay. So here Now come to question number 4. You have to exhibit a graph, give a graph with vertex v, some vertex is there, so that chromatic number of g minus v, if you exclude this vertex from g, that will be strictly less than chromatic number of g. Okay, and chromatic number of g complement minus v is strictly less than chromatic number of g complement. Okay, you need to give some graph like this. So g minus v, so this would be strictly less than of g. So if you consider p5 and c5, then it is working, and p5 you can get from c5 by just excluding one vertex, correct, or you can just say p4 you will be getting by excluding one vertex from c5. So a path you will get after removing a vertex from c5, correct. So here, so this is wrongly written, this would be p4, okay, because if you remove one vertex, then it will be kind of this one, because that vertex is gone, correct. So this will be p4, so please make this correct, so it will be p4. Okay, so p4 also you are getting 2, correct. Anyways, here it should be p4, also it should be p4. Yeah, you can consider g is equal to c5, and for c5 you have chromatic number for c5 is 3 because of odd cycle, correct. And if you are taking any vertex out, then you are getting a path. So c5 minus some vertex will be isomorphic to p4, okay, path of order 4, and chromatic number of p4 we know that is 2, and this is strictly less than this one, correct. If you remove one vertex from this one, this is strictly less than this one, okay. And also we need to show that for the same graph, chromatic number of g complement minus v is also strictly less than chromatic number of g complement, okay. And we know that c5 complement is again c5 isomorphic to c5. So c5 complement is isomorphic to c5, so we can work with c5 only. So c5, chromatic number of c5 is again 3. So for complement also it is 3, correct. And if you remove one vertex from c5, you are again getting p4, correct. So chromatic number of p4 is 2, so that's why it is strictly less than, this is strictly less than p4, correct. So this is strictly less than p4, okay. So this is done, I think. So here with a vertex, so that chromatic number of g minus v less than chromatic number of g, and chromatic number of g complement minus some vertex is strictly less than this one. So g and g complement we are getting as c5, for which we have this chromatic number is 3 because of odd cycle, and if you remove one vertex from both this complement and g, then you are getting p4, okay, p4, and here also p4, and here we are getting as strictly, and for p4 chromatic number is 2, so that is strictly less than 3. So we are done with the result. So we have to give some example, you can also give some other example if you wish, okay. So this is one of the example. Now come to question number 12. Prove or disprove every k chromatic graph G has a proper k coloring in which some color class has alpha g number of vertices. So that is for k chromatic, obviously it has a proper k coloring. You need to show that every k chromatic graph with some color class, so there will be some vertices, set of vertices having alpha g number of that is there will be some color class or some set with alpha g number of vertices that is colored with the same color. Okay, so you need to prove or disprove, and this is not true in general. You can consider a graph like this. So here I have considered this one. So for this one is bipartite. Obviously this is a tree, so this is two colorable graph, or chromatic number is 2. So chromatic number is 2 for this graph, correct? And alpha g is greater than this one. Okay, so alpha g, this forming alpha g, that is the maximum independent vertices, or you can just say maximum independent set of vertices. Okay, so this is independence number, and independence number for this one is, you can just say alpha is 2 for this graph, 4, alpha is 4 for this graph. And every two proper coloring you can exhibit now. So this is the same graph I am just again drawing. So this one is the graph G. Okay, so and for this one, then you can skip this one, you can do this one, you can skip this vertex. So now this one, and this one, because these are not adjacent. Also this is not adjacent with blue one. So these two vertices, this is two color, or you can just say two colorable graph, and chromatic number is 2, so obviously it will be two colorable, correct? So this is two colorable graph. Okay, and here how many vertices in one color class? So color class is, if you are naming it as A, B, C, and here E, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so here this blue color is forming one color class, all the vertices, and all the vertices of green color, it is forming the another class, color class. And both this is two colorable, obviously this is two colorable, correct? So this graph is two colorable, and this is forming two color classes because of chromaticity 2, or two colorable graph, correct? And both color class have how many vertices? 3 vertices each. Okay, 3 vertices are present in both color class. That is, in one color class it is A is present, B is present, C is present in, and the rest 3 are present in second color class, correct? So here how many vertices present? 3. And what is the maximum independence number, or you can just say maximum set of vertices which are independent? That are 4. So if we use the same color on these 4 vertices, then we can't use the same color to this one, because of this minimum two colorable, this chromatic number is 2, and we need to use the 2 coloring, correct? So if you want 3 coloring, it can exist, but it is showing that every K coloring, correct, every chromatic number has a proper K coloring. So K chromatic, then K coloring. So it should be, you will be discussing about 2 coloring only. Okay, so 2 coloring you will be considering, and then show that this is, each color class has 3 vertices, or you can just say no color class has alpha number of vertices. Okay, and this is one of the example. Obviously you can find some other. So you can always consider the tree type example, and you can just make this statement as false. So this statement was false, that every K chromatic graph has a proper K coloring in which some color class has alpha G vertices. Okay, it may be something different. Okay, so this statement, this part of statement is wrong. Yeah, now come to question number 13. Prove or disprove if G is the union of, it is not union of F and H. So it is given that Fg is the union of F union H. It is not given that this is the disjoint union of F and H, so we can take the same vertices of F and H. Okay, some vertices same we can just take, correct, or all vertices same we can just take. Then chromatic number of G is less than equal to chromatic number of F plus chromatic number of H. So is this true or not? We need to prove it. So prove or disprove. If G is the union of two graphs, then chromatic number of G is less than equal to sum of chromatic number of both the graphs. Okay. So the statement is false, and you can consider this graph K6. So in case of K6, what you have? So 6 vertices, correct. So here every 2 vertices are adjacent. Correct. This is the K6. So here you can G you can consider this one, and can you write this as union of two graphs? Obviously we can. You can just take F as this part, you can just take this bipartiteness part, and this one. This middle part you can just take this F, and H you can take as this one. Okay. So this one you can take H. So this green one you can take as H, and F you can just take the this violet one, blue one. Okay. So here H is green one and F is violet. Okay. So here G is F union H, where this color means we are just taking this graph, this color graph, and this color means we are taking these two C3s. Okay. F is what here? 3 vertices, and every 2 vertices are adjacent. Here you can just see, just take K6, 6 vertices, every 2 vertices are adjacent, and you can write K6 as union of this K33, because this we have taken F. So K33 union K3 comma 3, which is by complete bipartite graph. This is complete graph of order 6. This is complete bipartite graph of order 6 with partite set, each partite set having cardinality 3. Okay. So union with 2C3, because these are left, correct. So here 2C3, this will be 2C3 you can just take, or you can take C3 union C3, doesn't matter. Okay. Or you can just take 2K3. Okay, because C3 and K3 are same. Okay. So what about the chromatic number of K6? Chromatic number of K6, we already know that chromatic number of K6 will be 6. Chromatic number of Kn is n, so 6. Chromatic number of K33, this is bipartite graph, and for bipartite graph we know that chromatic number will be 2, correct. So here it is 2. Okay. Plus, if you are going by this this thing, then I'm just, so here chromatic number is 2, and for K3, this is the 2 components of K3. So one component you can use 3 different color, for other also the same 3 colors you can use. Okay. So for example, first color, second color, 3 color, again first 2 3. Okay, 1 2 3 1 2 3. So 2K3 is, you can say that this is 3 chromatic graph. Okay. So if K3 is 3 chromatic, obviously any component you can take. For this one, any number of component, it will be giving you 3 only. Okay. Now 2 plus 3 is 5, and 6 is strictly greater than 5, but question asks that 6 should be less than equal to 5, but which is not possible, correct? And example we have just given this one, okay, this one. This is one example corresponding to this one, and one example is enough to disprove anything, correct? So this is the counter example we have taken. K6 we have taken as G, and F as K33, complete bipartite graph with partite set 3 3, and this H we have just taken K3, 2 component of K3. So this one is H, and this one is F, and this one is G. So you can draw and yeah, these vertex sets of F and H are same. This one and this one are same. That is, if you combine these two, take the union of this one, then you are getting the K6 graph G, okay, and chromatic number for K6 is 6, chromatic number for this complete bipartite graph 2, chromatic number for 2K3 is 3, and here we got chromatic number of K6 is strictly greater than chromatic number of K3 3 plus chromatic number of 2 of K3, okay. Yeah, now you can come to the question number 14, and this is the, I think, last question. Yeah, this is the last question of this section, and here what you need to prove or disprove, for every graph G, chromatic number of G is less than equal to n minus alpha plus 1. So n is the order, alpha is the independence number, and 1. Okay, so chromatic number will be always less than equal to number of vertices n minus independence number alpha plus 1, and this statement is true. Okay, so this statement is true. How to prove it? So you can, if you are able to show that G has a proper coloring with D has a proper coloring which is by using these much colors, then if G has a K coloring, we know that this is a chromatic number is less than equal to this one. Okay, so we will be showing that G is K colorable. So G is K colorable, we will be showing, and K is n minus alpha plus 1. Okay, this much colorable. So sorry for that. Yeah, this much colorable, we will be showing this one. Okay, yeah, and total number of vertices are in this, let G be a graph. Total number of vertices are n, correct? Total number of vertices are n, and alpha denotes the number of independent vertices. So you can use the one color number 1 to color all the alpha vertices. So alpha number of vertices are colored by the first color. Okay, color number 1 you can use this one. Okay, and remaining are n minus alpha, correct? So total it was n, and alpha being colored by one color, so remaining are this one. Okay, so n minus alpha plus alpha, correct? So I can use one color to color this one. So one color, because all are non-adjacent, so this we can use one color to color all the vertices properly, correct? So that is the proper coloring. And what about this one? This one is, we can use the remaining vertices, we can use one color. So how many colors need to color these vertices? So we have to use n minus alpha number of colors if these are non-adjacent, correct? These are somehow adjacent. Okay, so maximum we can use this much colors, and one for all non-independent, or you can just say pairwise non-adjacent. It should be non-adjacent. I was talking about non-independent, I don't know why. Yeah, this is pairwise non-adjacent vertices, then it is done. Okay, now how much coloring is this one? This is n minus alpha plus 1, correct? So n minus alpha plus 1 coloring is where we can show that G is this much colorable. Okay, so here we are just showing that alpha g number of g has a proper coloring. How much proper coloring? We will be showing n minus alpha plus 1. This is proper coloring of this graph. Okay, so g has a proper coloring. Alpha g is the number of vertices of maximum independent set, obviously, correct, and this can be colored by using color number 1. So color number 1 is coloring alpha number of vertices. Okay, so alpha number of vertices are being colored by color number 1, and the remaining vertices are total are alpha, total are n, so remaining vertices are n minus alpha, and we can use, these can be colored by using distinct color, distinct this much colors. Okay, so these can be used by how many distinct color? So if you use if you color all the vertices distinctly, that is by using n minus alpha colors, that is if you are using second color to color the one of these, one, third, fourth, and so on up to n minus alpha number of colors to color all these vertices, that is one color to one vertex. Okay, only. So then total number of colors you are using n minus alpha plus 1, correct. So we have shown that g is this much colorable. G is n minus alpha plus 1 colorable. Okay, so yeah, alpha g total number of maximum independent set, you can just say total number of vertices, and this can be colored by using the same color. Okay, so alpha g can be, alpha g number of vertices can be colored by using same color, and the remaining n minus alpha, remaining will be n minus alpha, can be colored by using distinct colors other than 1, and this should not be equal to this should not be same as the color number 1. Okay, so total number of colors we are using, 1 for alpha number of vertices and rest n minus alpha for n minus alpha number of vertices. So total number of n minus alpha plus 1 colors we are using to do it proper coloring, correct. So maximum we can use this much. So it is we have shown that g is this much colorable. Okay, because there when g is k colorable if there exists a k proper coloring, correct, and we have shown that this is the proper coloring of this graph, so this is this much colorable. Okay, and whenever this is g is this much colorable or any k colorable, then chromatic number will be less than equal to this one. Okay, so chromatic number will be less than equal to k if this is k colorable, and we have shown this is n minus alpha plus 1 colorable, correct. So chromatic number will be less than equal to n minus alpha plus 1. I think this is done. If you have any doubt, you can let me know. Okay, I hope 5.1 is clear now. So this is done today, and in next lecture I'll be starting 5.3 as 5.2 is not in your syllabus. Okay, so okay, it's done. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.